How's it going, everybody? James, OnlineCarShow.net. Ain't got another video for y'all. Unfortunately, it's not about the Corvette ZR1 today. Aww. Instead, we're going to be taking a look at my PC builds in the other room. So before y'all get started, thinking that the channel's switching it up here, I'll still be providing content on the ZR1. Just been getting into sim racing and want to show y'all some of the aspects around that. So there is a direction I'm going with the PC build. Just hold tight. Before we get there, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe below. That helps my channel to grow and helps my videos, and I can't say thank you enough. So let's go ahead and switch to the other room and get to the PC build. All right, well, here we are. Got the lab, authorized personnel only, allowed beyond here. You can hear, I just want to start this video off with giving y'all some audio, just so y'all can hear the difference. This is wood floors, of course, not carpet, which that room has. And also the big thing is I've got sound deadening stuff in there that really helps. And here we go. As you can tell, there's a major sound difference that occurred when I entered the room. And that is due partly to these big ugly things in the corner. Those are bass traps. They help, get rid of any echo and bass, that's echoing in the room. I've got them in every corner. And of course, it's my guitar room as well, but also got some foam on the walls. And of course, this helps make the room sound like it's a bigger room than it actually is. And now we'll get to the actual computers here. As you can see, I've got the steering wheel set up. Was doing some racing last night and got some Bitcoin mining going on that one. But here's my two machines. These are both used for a totally different purpose. We're going to get into the builds of each one of them in this video a little bit. Just kind of touch the surface on it. One, of course, is my iMac. This is what I edit all my videos on for YouTube. All my photos, etc., are edited in here. I've got a full Adobe suite. We've got Premiere that I use for videos on YouTube, and Lightroom Classic that I do all my photo editing with, as well as the rest of the suite. And I also do most of my day-to-day computer stuff off this machine. To get into the specifics about the machine, this was over a $3,000 iMac. They are very pricey. And after building this machine, I'll let y'all decide on if it was worth it or not. I will say the biggest thing about this, and the one reason I love it for video editing and photos, is the 5K 27-inch Retinal Display. It is spectacular looking. That's all I can say. It is a little above what other monitors would show colors and so forth, so you have to keep that in consideration when doing edits and stuff, because the coloring is a little bit brighter than most people will be viewing your videos or photos. It's got an i7 10th gen, I think 3.7 gigahertz processor. I bought it with 4 gigabyte of RAM. Because you can upgrade it so easily, it's been immediately upgraded to 32 gigabyte on this. Other specifics about it, I did go for the 1 terabyte hard drive SSD internal, and it's got the top option for video card, which at the time was a 5700 XT Radeon with 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's been an excellent machine. I haven't had a single issue with this. Just like all Apple stuff, it just works and keeps going. One thing I've loved, my MacBook Pro I had before this lasted a good 6 years without a single issue, and my wife's still using it. They are just little stable workhorses that just keep going and going. I wish Windows machines had the same, but that's also due to different hardware, etc. I've also, of course, got the smart drive and an external hard drive somewhere around here, SSD, that I use for archiving videos. One thing I want to say here, I'm not a big fan of the magic mouse. Whenever I go to click something, it seems like my finger, because it's picking up the touch, moves the cursor, right when I'm going to click something. So that's been kind of a nuisance. I'm not a fan of their peripherals, honestly, after using them over time. I guess day-to-day computer use, they might be okay, and it's real cool that it, charges, and it's, wireless and all that, and no batteries. So, I mean, it's been a good, as far as how it's built and stuff, 2 thumbs up, but just not a fan of that weird movement I get and especially when you're trying to edit a video or colors on a photo, it gets kind of annoying. As far as the keyboard, the little keyboard it was shipped with, I thought was total trash, to be honest with you. I upgraded to a Logitech, I think it's like an MX keys, yeah, MX keys for Mac, because it's got all the Mac, you know, special buttons on it. It also works with up to 3 devices, so I can switch, you know, if I want to use it on my iPad, this computer, or even use it on the other computer all as one keyboard. I have the ability to switch back and forth over Bluetooth or the 2.4 gigahertz dongle. And so, I mean, it's been a really good machine for its purpose. Games and stuff, I originally had this as a dual boot with Windows. It just is not working out. The Radeon 5700 XT AMD only supported drivers up to a certain point. So it's like some games would be asking for updates that I couldn't even install. It was weird. But anyways, I struggled making this a dual boot gaming machine. It just was not working. So that got me into building this. And we'll get into a little of the specifics here. I'll show you a little bit closer view as we're going through this. This is my gaming PC. I, of course, built this, and it's dusty on the front right now.
That's
I need to
nasty.
get some of my canned air and spray it off. But this machine has been awesome. It's super fast. Built this totally myself. We started off with a, let's see, the processor in it is a AMD Ryzen 7 3700X, 3.7 gigahertz. Of course, I'm running it overclocked. I think at 4.3 gigahertz on all cores, not just a couple. Running cool as can be with the liquid cooler. It's got an MSI liquid cooler in it. I think it's the 3600R because it's got the 3-fan setup. It's been okay for a liquid cooler. Honestly, I've seen better numbers from other liquid coolers than this one. I know my son got one. He went with the Asus, their Rogue 3-fan cooler, and his temperatures have been a little bit better than mine. I think that they do slack a little bit, and one of the reasons is because the actual pump is up here. It's not on the head unit over the CPU. The actual pump is in the fans, which their thought on that is it's removing heat from around the CPU, but I don't think the pump really works as good as other pumps on the market, to be honest with y'all. I've had decent luck with it, so it stayed on the machine. Now to move on past the CPU, we go to the motherboard. It's an MSI ProCarbon X570 motherboard. I'm running Thermaltake 32 gigabytes of Thermaltake RAM DDR4 that's in 4 sticks times 8 gigabytes. This is 4400 megahertz RAM, but it's only running at 3866 megahertz because, of course, it's a 3000 series Ryzen chip and not a 5000. So I did do pretty good on the silicone lottery, getting it to run at 3866 stable. It's worked good at that number. Also tightened the timings down a little bit on it. We move on. Let's move on to, I guess, the graphics card next. That's just like the Mac. It's a 5700 XT. This one only has 8 gigabytes of RAM, but it is the Asus Rogue OC edition. So it's overclocked edition. It comes fully overclocked, and you can honestly get but maybe 20 more megahertz out of it. It's so overclocked. So comes overclocked out of the box. It's been a really decent graphics card. Now that I got game mode turned off in Windows, I haven't had a single glitch. I was getting a lot of glitches from having game mode on. Since I've disabled that in Windows, I'm getting 0 glitches. So it's been a workhorse now that I figured out how to configure it right. I did add another, this is a Cooler Master case, but it didn't have the exhaust fan you're seeing there on the very back with the ring. I added that just to get a little more exhaust out of there. Of course, you got the 3 fans coming out the top through the radiator, the one out the back. It's got 3 inlet fans on the front. So I think there's some decent airflow going on in here. One problem I did have was the weight of this 5700 XT was so heavy that I had to get you see this little mount over here underneath it with LEDs.
I'll try to put a link to all this stuff in the description, those interested. But I tried another mount for it before. I like this one because it secures and there's no chance of moving around. The other mount was basically just a little stand that stood in there and supported it. But I like this one because it's actually connected. Oh, power supply, we're running a EVGA 750 gold power supply. There shouldn't be any problems there. It's I think I'm about 100 watts over what I probably needed, but that's fine. Hard drive would be nice. It's got a it's running the Western Digital WD Black M.2 SSD. This is their top one out. It's got like a 7,000 read speed, 5,000 write, super fast hard drive. It's a 2 terabyte because I had a 1 terabyte before, but honestly it was really tight with as big as games are getting nowadays. Those that are building a PC, I recommend go ahead and just go ahead and get the 2 terabytes. So you don't have to jack with hybrid or any of that other mess. It will cost you double the price, but you're getting a 2 terabyte drive. And what last but not least, we'll come up here to the peripherals and stuff. As you can see, I've got an iPhone set up for racing and sim hub, but we'll get to that in later videos. We've got a super wide 35-inch Asus Tough Gaming monitor. It's an ultra wide, a 2K monitor. It's got 100 hertz as the refresh rate, so it does lack a little bit in the refresh rate compared to some other gaming monitors, but it was at a really good price at under $500. This price point, it was the best I could find, and honestly it's been a pretty decent little monitor. My only complaints is the HDR is a little low. I think it's an HDR10. I wish it was a little bit higher quality HDR than that, but for what I spent and all, it's been a great little monitor, and honestly I can't really complain on it. I do wish I had a 49-inch ultra wide now that I've been sim racing, just to be able to see cars next to me and etc. As far as the peripherals go, we've got a Razer Tournament Edition. I love the way this thing clicks. I could just sit here and click keys all day. Razer Tournament Edition keyboard, 10 keyless, just to save some room if I'm doing, you know, first-person shooters. I've replaced the keys on it with the Razer PBT kit. I need to clean them a little bit here, but and they're glowing a little bit because we've got black lights in this room, but they're just green. They just kind of glow with the black lights. Like this keyboard, I bought it used on eBay. I think it was like 50 or 60 bucks. They're regular priced 130 or something like that. It's been a great keyboard, and I really like the color effects that come with it. The colors change based on the game and stuff. You can light up, if you're in a first-person shooter, you know, you can light up just your WASD keys or whatever you want. And some of the gaming effects come over in here. So if there's shooting or something happening in the game, or a wreck, or a final lap on a race flag, you'll see the keys light up differently based on that, which is really freaking cool. And I went with another Razer thing just to keep all the colors the same and on the same, you know, scheme. We've got the Razer Viper mouse, and it's dirty as crap too, and the base station that comes with it, which is really nice. It's got my little 2.4 gigahertz dongle in there. I can just do that whenever I need to. If I can get it on there. To charge it, it'll tell you, you know, how charged it is here in a second. Well, it's not doing that. I need to check my color settings, but it'll usually glow based on how charged the mouse is and let you know. And if you need to, it'll also work on a wire. That's why I have the wire here, just in case I forget to charge it and need a mouse. And we get to the speakers here, which these are Clips Audio THX series. These have been awesome. My son gave me these for Christmas here, and they've got a subwoofer back here. They sound absolutely incredible. I highly recommend them. We're running all of the internet, of course, on a wired internet through the switch here, and then on, of course, to my firewall and modem, etc. in the closet. That's basically my setup. I've got Alexa here so I can watch all my security cameras and so forth, but it's that's basically the setup
as it is. I mean, and to give you a price difference here, I would say the price on this, now, those that don't know, graphics cards right now being in shortage are being sold for crazy prices. So it's really hard to price the gaming machine. So before the shortage, I would say this would probably be about a $1,400 machine. After the shortage, though, this is probably around that $2,000 mark, because graphics card unfortunately did cost me about $700. So $2,000 machine here. We've got well over $3,000 machine here. I think this was $3,100 or something out the door. Now, which one do I think I would take? You know, knowing what I know now. Well, that's a really hard one to answer, because this one serves a purpose and does it really well, and this one serves a purpose and does it really well. To get this machine to do what this does, with the, you know, the Retinal Display and all that, you're looking at $1,000 monitor here instead of a $500 monitor. So that's going to add $500 to the price. So you might save $500 going with the Windows machine over an iMac or a Mac. But then you're going to have to deal with, you know, the Mac's all built for hardware that's in it. The operating system, any kind of Mac owner knows you're going to get 5 or 6 years out of this no matter what. I don't even worry about that machine. It will just keep going. Which one's the better deal? Which one to go with? Honestly, I'm not sure I can answer that. I think that depends more on what you need it for. If you're going gaming PC, you need to go Windows. There's so many more games you can play on the Windows machine. You're going to have 10 times less problems with it trying to figure out how to, you know, hack it and get it to work on a OS X, or trying to run dual boot with Boot Camp or Parallels on OS X. It's just not quite as nice, and you know, your frame rates, other things are going to suffer in the meantime. So if you're looking for a gaming PC, I would go straight Windows. Now, if you're looking for a multimedia machine, I think that can depend on what software you're using, etc. I personally stand behind Apple as far as my media machines, just because using them for so many years, and I've just really liked the stability and stuff I've gotten out of them. So I'm going to leave that up to you guys. I recommend that y'all go out and don't just take my review or, you know, my ideas and opinions here or whatever. Go out, do more research. I did, and it sure helped me out in making my decisions on the computers. And those scared to tackle building your own machine, it's not that bad if you just take your time, go out there, research again, look at videos. Don't be scared to try it. Thank y'all so much for watching my video. There's going to be some sim racing videos coming up in the near future, and going over some of the equipment I use for that, some of the software. So be on the lookout for that. The sim racing world's exploding now that professional drivers have made that leap and are now racing in both worlds. So those that don't know, the sim racing world has just been exploding because of that here lately, and highly recommend it. It has been a blast. But we'll get into that in later videos. Thank you all so much for watching. Please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe below. I hope everybody has a great week, and thank you.